Welcome to Limitless Trading. We wanted to set you up for this week, let you know what we're seeing and our thoughts. One of the things that we had talked about in previous videos, we gave you the low, we gave you the pivot high, where we thought that bears were going to start taking control. Now, where are we? Well, we broke under the trend line that we had mentioned. We turned 57.75 into resistance that failed. The trend line failed that started back when we gave you the low on the 13th, that Thursday, into the FOMC. Right now, we closed just under 56.29, but we stayed above 55.78 and 55.31. Is that bullish? Yes, because we're still above a previous support, but all the other supports have failed. So bears are completely in control. What we want to see for Monday or Tuesday is, let's see, where Monday would be possibly a test of 55.13 if we make another low. If not, around Tuesday to get 5,500 by Tuesday if we don't hold 57.78. This is the trend line that we caught that gave us the about 2 weeks bull run that we took in the middle of March when we knew that Powell was going to calm the market. But with all the tariff talks and all the news and the PCE, bears took full control. If we lose 57.78 and you took the short, just keep running your short. Or if you cut your short on a Friday, which makes sense because you don't want to go into the weekend not knowing, then you could reinitiate a short because we're going to just gap down and we're going to continue to free fall until bulls recover a level. What we want to see is 56.29 recover, 56.84 recover, and that gives us a squeeze back to at least 57.75 to possibly retest the scene of the crime or to come back up. What we might think could happen, I know everybody sees this bear flag, but what may happen is the market came down, retested after a 9% drawdown, comes back down to get a little bit more liquidity, made down around here 58.20. Let's just be generous, break a new low, create a bullish divergence at 5,500, and then at least back to 57.75. And then if by that following week we don't have any resolution, and actually Tuesday the 15th, I suspect is going to be a top. Market makers are going to want to cover, pay their taxes, and then come down. And then we suspect that we'll start working down again from the 17th all the way down to possibly May 15th. We might think there might be a low or somewhere around here, all depending because of the wash rule and the way options wash rule works. But as of right now, what we do know is that market makers, the bear stepped in, they took over, they broke all the supports and basically held right here. Actually, on the smaller time frame, they held right about 5,600. What we want to see at least is 56.20 recover. If it doesn't on the smaller time frame, we're going 55.86 all the way down 55.66. What I tell everybody is, if you didn't short on Friday and you stayed out of the market, because we tend to not trade on Fridays, don't short here. At the very least, let some sort of back test. Let's say 56.20 retest on, let's say over the weekend, something gets pulled off for tariffs, market likes it, has to cover. Let something back test and then take a short with a little bit less of a drawdown. Why? Because we just moved down 3%. You don't want to get trapped down here after everybody shorted all of this. You're going to end up having to hold on the recovery. Again, if 56.20 recovers or 56.50 recovers and then turns into resistance, by all means, continue downtrend. We suspect that Tuesday will be a low, but we're going to take it one trade at a time. We're not going to assume that it's going to be a low. If 5,600 breaks, absolutely take your short and just continue on, because the daily has, again, the retest possibly of this trend line, which would be about the 55.31 area that tested before. It could retest again, go a little bit lower to create a bullish divergence. We don't assume. We take it one level at a time, let the level break down pre-market, let's say 5,600, and then add a little bit of short, or let the bull step in, trap at 56.20, 56.50. Frankly, I would love to see a retest of the 57.71 area and then take the short. Why? Because the bears are telling us they're stepping in. They broke that trend line here So any retest of that trend line, whether it's 57.75 here, let's say by Thursday, if anything about tariff talks, then we get more tariffs and on tariffs. But the bears now control, now that everything has broken down. If they recover 56.29, don't just short the lows. You want to short when we get back to at least to the trend line. Don't assume we're going to go down. Okay, take it one trade at a time, one level at a time. But Tuesday we should see some sort of low, and we might have bulls come in to give a little bit of a rally again, depending on the any catalyst, whether it's tariff talks or a Fed speaker or anything going on in the world. If you like this content, please subscribe, like, comment below, Discord, or email us, and we'd love to have you join our team.